is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Shady here, and welcome back to another episode of Throwback Thursday, which is where I dive into shows or movies that are at least 2 to 3 years old by the time that I'm making this video on them. Now, today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be diving into the world of Jersey Shore. Yes, I literally was going through the shows of my childhood and also teenage years, and I was like, yes, we need to do a video about Jersey Shore because I recently just watched or rewatched season 1, and we're going to be primarily talking about what happened in season 1, because if we were sitting here talking about every single thing that happened over the several seasons that they were on the air, I think this was MTV that they were on, yeah, we would be here forever. I was like, we're just going to primarily on season 1, but of course we're going to talk about the phenomenon that was Jersey Shore. Even though people would rather not admit it, it kind of was a phenomenon. So this one is going to be a major blast from the past. So it premiered back in 2012. So this is the reality show that I'm sure a lot of people have either watched or at the very least heard about. From the outfits to the lingo and the all over the place relationships, this show was honestly just something, and it definitely like put its mark on the 2010s era. I think when you think about the 2010s, a lot of people probably think about Jersey Shore. Obviously, I could be wrong for some folks, but I feel like a lot of people, if they think about like reality TV in the 2010s, they would think about Jersey Shore. Now, this show was literally just them putting a bunch of people, which I feel like most reality shows were like for a good amount of time, but they just put a bunch of random people, I think it was like 8 of them, in this house on the Jersey Shore, and they would just film them and just see what they'll be up to. Like, it pretty much was as simple as that. They did not try to make it complicated. They did, however, have them working this job. I think they said that the guy that owned the house that they were staying in had this t-shirt shop, right? And he was like, listen, the only way you're gonna stay in this house for free is if you work. So technically it wasn't free, it was like you're working. But at the same time, it's just like, are they really gonna work though? I felt like it was just so unrealistic, like to have these people, these like kind of irresponsible people, no offense, trying to show up for work every day or every other day, depending on the schedule. Like, be for real. But their personalities mixed with the type of situations that they would find themselves in made for some pretty entertaining and in some cases hilarious TV. You have to admit, some of the scenes in there, it's just like, wait, what? What did he just say? What did they just do? You know? So yeah, it was just a lot of those scenes. But I rewatched, like I said, season 1 recently, and it's crazy the jump in quality, number one, that we've had in terms of the on-screen clarity from then to now. Like, literally just the quality of what we're watching, not in terms of the production, in terms of the actual like quality that you could watch it in. I was like, wow, we used to really watch TV in some cases in 360p. So the cast for season 1, let's go through them real quick. We had Nicole, aka Snooki, Pauly D, Mike, The Situation, Jenny, who was also JWoww, Angelina, Vinny, Ronnie, and Sammy. So with all that being said, let's get into some of the craziness that went down during this season, okay? In season 1 alone, there was already a lot of drama. They made the drama so easy. It was just kind of like, okay, this is getting real interesting. Episode 1. Snooki shows up late to work, you know, the very first day because she was already hungover. I was like, wow, that's a good start, Snooki. And now you have your roommates also looking at you crazy like, who is this chick, right? Because they don't really know her like that. It's like the first couple of days. She shows up, she's hungover, almost gets fired, but he's just like, you know what? It's the first day. I'm gonna let you slide, but don't let this happen again. But next we have Jenny. Jenny, aka JWoww. She decides she wants to basically cheat on her boyfriend, right? She came in with a boyfriend. She was hanging out with Pauly D. She was getting real close, honey. I was like, JWoww, what are we doing? They're dancing in the club, they're having a good time, and she ends up kissing Pauly. But she walks away. She disappears. Pauly D doesn't know where she went. And then when we get an explanation from her, she's like, yeah, I didn't want to do anything that I regret, or I didn't want to do anything that would jeopardize my relationship or make me look like a cheater or something. Like, I didn't want to cheat. And I'm just like, but you did, honey, you did. We literally watched it on national television, and I'm sure your boyfriend watched it back too. But she, in the beginning, was trying to play it off with Polly and was like, well, what did I do? Like, I don't remember that. I kissed you? Really? That happened? So she tried to play that game, but she knew it wasn't gonna work. So she eventually came clean to the boyfriend. Boyfriend hangs up, but eventually they do make amends. But I'm like, for what? Y'all know y'all gonna break up eventually anyway. Like, what is this? As long as she's living in this house with all these men, let's be for real. Let's be for real here. You know you don't have a girlfriend anymore. I'm just going to be honest. I thought that was hilarious, honestly. Like, she walked away and was like, yeah, I didn't want to cheat after you kissed this man on national television. Makes sense. Next, we had Mike, who had a crush on Sammy in the beginning. Obviously, we know that Sammy ends up with another person, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Regardless, in the beginning, Mike was like, yeah, I like Sammy, she's cute or whatever. But the thing is, Mike is a flirt, okay? Mike was like, I'm not trying to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm here to basically check everybody out, like make the best decision for me. But the thing is, Mike kind of already knew his intention was just to smash and go, but he kept trying to sell the dream to Sammy like he was really interested in her in terms of like a relationship. But obviously that's just him running game, let's be real. So Sammy is just like, you know, oh, okay, I think you're kind of cute, like whatever. But thing is, Mike can't help himself, okay? He's out there with other girls and Sammy's like, you know what, okay, if you're gonna do this, I'm gonna talk to another guy. Everyone's just like, wait, what? But things get really interesting when Sammy literally decides to make out with Mike and then like just a couple minutes later at the same club makes out with Ronnie. And I'm just like, huh? You couldn't space it out or just pick another location right in front of Mike? And then it's gonna pretend like Mike is the crazy one. Like, I'm just saying, like, huh? Mike was like confused. He's like, okay. And Ronnie is just like, you know, he needs to get over it. And I'm just like, but they literally made out right before she made out with you. You don't think that's weird? But a few episodes after that is when Snooki gets punched in the face by this guy. And the dysfunctional family, they were like, They were ready to literally tear this guy apart. I have to say one thing about this show, as crazy as these individuals can be, as crazy as the situations can get, I have to say the one thing I liked about the show was that they always kind of rode for each other. It was almost kind of like a weird like sibling relationship, almost like how you would treat your siblings in terms of, let me be specific because they did do some strange things on this show. In terms of like certain things, okay? They would kind of treat each other like siblings in the sense that it's like, listen, I could pick on them, but you can't. If it's a random person, nah. Basically, they automatically went to bat for her, but the guy ended up getting arrested like really quickly, so they couldn't even really put hands on him like that. So that was another altercation that was avoided that night. Either way, it was like a really crazy situation. But yeah, I have to say overall, it's like a weird dysfunctional family. And when I say weird, I really mean weird because every now and again it's like they would sleep with each other. So obviously you're not going to be sleeping with your siblings, you know. I hope not. Yeah. Now Ronnie and Sammy's relationship, that was very questionable. That was also something that happened right after the whole Mike situation. You know, they made out the same night, whatever. They decide, you know, Ronnie and Sammy, they're gonna be together. And Ronnie even introduces Sammy to his parents because the parents come to visit. And I'm like, you don't think this is moving a little too fast? I'm not sure. Did he introduce her as his girlfriend? I don't know. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I thought that was really fast. I was like, okay. So yeah, it was very interesting in the sense of like, this is moving really fast and the relationship also became really destructive really fast. Their relationship continued off and on this show for several seasons. We're very familiar, but this is when it started. Looking back on it, I'm just like, yeah, there were signs from the beginning, Sammy. There were signs, okay? Ronnie ends up getting arrested because he also decided to put his hands on another guy. I think he does end up having some run-ins, like other run-ins with the law after this season. It started really early. I was like, dang, Ronnie, in season 1 you get arrested? Really? And Sammy has to pick him up. Yeah. So closer to the end of this season, we realize that nobody likes Mike or Angelina, but particularly Angelina. Like, they are annoyed with Mike. They think he has some antics that are really annoying. But with Angelina, It's really, really annoying. She complains about everything. Complains about having to go to work. Complains about having to live in the house. Complains about having to live with other people. Like, it was just like, girl, we don't care. Like, this is what you signed up for. And first of all, they was already looking at her crazy because she showed up with trash bags of clothes on the first day instead of like an actual like suitcase. I was just like, yeah, that does look kind of strange. Like, trash bags? Really? Anyway, we also find out that Angelina was sleeping with a married guy. That comes in later. She at the end was just like, you know what, I'm dipping out. I don't even think she said anything to the boss. Angelina was so annoying. Like, I forgot how annoying she was. Did she ever come back? I don't think, did she come back? Now I'm thinking. But yeah, this show was so interesting. Obviously, we had like other people come in later seasons. They had, you know, to replace some people that would leave. But Vinny, JWoww, Mike, Snooki, Pauly D, like they were like the main ones. Ronnie and Sammy too. But Angelina was the only one that left in season 1. But yeah, anyway, for the most part, they kind of stayed the same in terms of cast. Now, they did try to do this like reunion thing a couple of years ago. Jersey Shore Family Vacation. I was starting back in 2018. I'm looking at it on Google and they said they had 7 seasons. I don't remember this. 7 seasons. That's crazy. But the premise was like them coming back as, you know, their older selves now, more mature, so to speak. But the thing is, I don't think it really caught on as much as like the original like Jersey Shore. Like, I don't think people really paid attention to it. I think it was more so like the very first couple of seasons they were like watching it for the nostalgia. Y'all could let me know if y'all really like the show. But yeah, I didn't really watch it. But Jersey Shore, like the original Jersey Shore, was way more entertaining to me than that Family Vacation one. I was like, I don't think I'm really that interested. I have to say, even though when we look at the ratings of the show, like the original Jersey Shore show, it's not that great. But most reality show ratings are not that great. I think it still was like a 2010s like thing. When people think of the 2010s, I think Jersey Shore might come to mind. And like I said in the beginning, you know, it was the lingo, the way they look, the way they dress, like, you know, it was just a time. Let's go through the lingo real quick. Hold on. You got GTL, Gym Tan Laundry, which, why do y'all tan so much? I don't understand. Like, why is that necessary? And also, didn't they find out that it's like really dangerous, like not healthy at all? I know they have like different means of doing it now, but back in the day, it's like, yeah, I don't know about that. Grenade, which is basically supposed to be like an unattractive or ugly girl. Now, DTF, down to, I think y'all know what that means. Y'all can finish that statement. Smush, which I think that's self-explanatory. Juiced. Juiced, I think, is supposed to be like a steroid filled guy, okay? Like really buff, but he's on like steroids. He's not like natural. But anyways, yeah, I just thought I'd bring some of those up. It was like hilarious looking back on some of those words. I'm like, smush? The smush room. But y'all let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments. I thought this was going to be a pretty fun throwback to have. Let me know if you used to watch Jersey Shore back in the day. Favorite cast members, all that good stuff. I think my favorite was probably Snooki. I love Snooki. She was like a ball of energy all the time. But yeah, she was so funny to me. I like JWoww as well. Sammy was really annoying. And I also think I like Vinny. Yeah, Vinny was cool. He was a little bit more on the quieter side, but I also like Vinny. So I'd probably say Vinny, Snooki, and JWoww. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.